that right. We are Nigerians, oh. We have liberties that will continue to champion. The Constitution provides for an equalization philosophy. That equalization philosophy presumes that all citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria must be treated equally, given the same status. Once you attempt to deny a citizen of Nigeria his rights, either on the basis of the profession, social, religious, cultural affiliations, you violate that constitution.
Let me just play devil's advocate.
Yes.
A pharmacist spends, what, 3-4 years in the university?
No,
A pharmacist spends, depending on the type, if it is a bachelor in pharmacy, it's 5 years. If it is a doctor in pharmacy, PharmD, which is a first degree, it's 6 years.
It's a first degree.
It's a first degree, 6 years.
Okay, all right. That shuts me up, because I was going to say, you spend a shorter time in university than the doctors, so they should have some privileges. Because
let me ask you a question, because it's also, it is also good that you raise this. As a comparison, another multidisciplinary sector you want to look at is the building environment sector, where you have architects who train for 7 years,
6-7 years,
engineers train for 5 years, all the different surveyors, estates, quantity survey, all of them train for 5 years. Now, does the architect come around to tell anybody that is the leader of a team? Have you ever, do you see this type of crisis?
So, who should be the team in the medical, in the health sector?
Everywhere.
Every area has its own team leader.
In all human endeavors, that leadership concept evolves based on the assignment at hand. That is why we continue to say that the only way you can determine who leads a particular team is through a competitive selection process. Look, if you say you are the best, then don't wait for people to decree things automatically to come to you. Compete with other people. If you emerge, they respect it.
Okay. You were going to say something.
Yes, and that is the root cause, what I feel is the root cause of this whole problem. I think if you look at the psychology of the medical students training, now there is an inherent problem, which if not tackled, I think this problem is going to be with us for a long time. And that is this psychology of the medical profession or medical practitioners believing that all other health professionals are support staff. Because that's part of the things they go about saying. And that's, I'm saying this categorically for the public to know that the other health professionals are not support staff. They are at par, and even in some instances are higher than the medical practitioners. Why do I say so? In 2007, a job evaluation was actually carried out in this country. And the job evaluation was supervised by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, the Head of Service, the Ministry of Labor and Productivity, Salaries and Wages Commission, and the Ministry of Health. And when that job evaluation was done, surgeons were rated highest, which makes a lot of sense. After surgeons, physiotherapists were rated next, lab scientists, before medical practitioners, general medical practitioners. So where is this overbloated ego coming from? Where is this undue arrogance coming from? Saying that health professionals cannot rise to the peak of their career, they cannot be accorded consultancy status, that and then you must be the leader. As a matter of fact, like doctors, they want to head all the health professions, imposing one profession over another. It's absolutely crazy.
Just before,
we need to.
Yes, I'll come to you in a minute. Just a very quick response to this. Do you think there's anything out of the 24-point demand from the NMA? Is there anything worth looking at by the federal government?
Well, the issue of universal coverage of the National Health Insurance Scheme is it's what the other health professionals are also agitating for. What else again? But majority of
you can only see 1 point. Can you see any other point apart from universal health coverage within the 24 commandments?
I agree with it. The 24 commandments. Yes, universal health coverage is desirable.
Yes.
But there's also a but.
Is there
the National Health Insurance Scheme that will drive universal health coverage is fundamentally defective in output today. There are issues surrounding payment mechanisms.
Okay,
community-based social health insurance.
I'd like us to just focus
because,
on NMA.
like I have said about grabbing all resources and privileges, go and find out what enrollees go through in health insurance. It is only doctors who have hijacked it again as usual because they are the only people in charge. So today, if you go to a hospital, all the hospitals in Nigeria, all the private hospitals today have in-house pharmacies. They have in-house laboratories.
Okay, but in terms of their demand, can you see any other one?
I said universal health coverage is desirable.
Apart from that's the only one you can see.
Of 24.
That's the only thing that I see.
Okay,
sorry,
let me come to you then.
Sorry,
okay, make your point.
Let me say this. I think that there seems to be a conscious attempt to give this whole doctor strike a completely different coloration. I'll paint this familiar picture. Jesus healed someone on a Saturday. The Jews are not interested in the fact that he healed someone. They say, why heal someone on a Saturday? Somebody has made 24 demands. Those 24 demands, for whatever it takes, we should actually be looking at them one by one, critically. Does any of them have any merit at all? Yeah. Can we discount any of them? But the truth now is that it looks like, instead of looking at these issues, we are basically saying that, don't look at these issues. Look at ego. Understand what I'm talking about? So what I sincerely think is that, unfortunately, the NMA people are not here. It would have been easier for us to say, okay, irrespective of whether we think there's an ego coloration to this matter or not, these issues, can we begin to look at them one after the other? Does any of them make any sense?
Yeah.
To the growth of the profession?
Yeah.
Before we now say, for instance, yes, this makes a lot of sense to the growth of the profession, but can we look at it from the angle of what informed it? Yeah. You know, but the way it is, it looks like this strike. I don't want to disagree that there's an ego dimension to it, but I don't think it is all about ego alone. I don't think so.
Let me quickly.
There may be other dimensions that are a bit more critical than ego. That, for instance, if we begin to distill those issues, it's okay, this one is not ego, 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 this one is doable. Okay. But even
we have
beyond,
to wrap up now. So
let me quickly reel off the
24. Can run through.
Yeah, let me quickly reel off the 24 demands. Number one is the usual deputy chairman medical advisory committee. They are taking for it. That's number one. This position is not provided for, and there is absolutely no need for it. What they are saying is that the CMAC has a lot of duties, but instead of creating deputy CMAC, the CMAC is constituted by directors and head of departments. Why don't you make them? Number two, director, which I've been talking about. Health professionals rising to the peak of they are saying they should, the other health professionals should not be given directors. 3, they want to be skipping CONHES 12, which they come in on 12. They don't skip. I mean, it's CONHES 10 that everybody skips, and so they are already bypassed. They come in on 12, so it's absolutely not necessary for them. Issue of consultancy, we talked about that. Relativity. Other health professionals come in on grade level 8, some grade level 9. They come in on 12. So what more relativity do you want? Before somebody rises from level 8 to level 12, it takes not less than 10 years. Is that not relative enough?
Okay.
National Health Bill, Surgeon General, absolutely unnecessary. We have Director of Public Health Services. Entry point for house officers to be on step 4. All members of the public civil service come in on step 1 or step 2. So then they want to be collecting clinical duties allowances 90% higher than other health professionals. That is absolutely crazy. Specialist allowance, it must be 50% higher than other health professionals, despite the fact that they come in at the higher level. Hazard allowance, they want 100%, 100,000 per month. Withdrawal of CBN license for medical laboratory science to be importing in vitro diagnostic equipment. They want the CBN to revoke that license, that you should only be medical practitioners that should be doing so. circular of retirement age. Well, there is a bit of substance to that, so maybe government can look into that. Formalized residency training in Nigeria.